Hey everybody, it's Ty from K2 Data Science and Engineering. In this video, we're going to be talking about web scraping. Basically, web scraping is a technique to extract data from websites. Data displayed by most websites can only be viewed using a web browser. For example, you simply can't download everything on your Facebook feed or all the listings of a certain product on eBay. Web scraping allows you to do that. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. Here we have a screenshot of MacBook computers on eBay and cameras on Amazon. Using web scraping, we can programmatically extract the title, the featured image, the price, the cost of shipping, the product ratings, and other elements. After parsing this content, you can aggregate the data and calculate analytics. Maybe things like price trends for used laptop computers or average ratings of a camera by brand. For the project, we will be scraping Frame.io's blog. Frame.io offers an online tool for video review and collaboration. Media companies like BuzzFeed, CBS, and Vice use it to privately share videos amongst team members. As per the brief, we are working for a startup that is trying to compete with Frame.io. Here's their blog. You can see that they publish articles fairly regularly and have distinct categories on the top. If we click on a category, you can see the articles in each category, and then when there's more than can fit on the page, they use pagination. So we could compute category level analytics, such as how often they post in each category. Let's take a look at one of the articles. So each article has a featured image, says which category it's on, how long it takes to read, the date, the author, title. Then there are headings, paragraphs, bold, images, external links, embedded videos, and so on. So we can look at reading time, length of an article, number of images, and so forth. Now, in order to scrape a website, you need to understand how HTML and CSS work together. This is a large topic, so I'm just going to scratch the surface. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it serves as the structural layer. It describes how you would want to lay out the elements on the page, like a heading before a paragraph. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it serves as the presentation layer. It describes how you want elements to look, like making a font bold or making a font much larger than the fonts next to it. Here's a quick example. You can see the raw code on the left and the output on the right. If we simply have a plain HTML paragraph tag, the text will be output in the standard size and font. Now we can add CSS in the mix. Here we have a style tag where we define our CSS, and then we have the same HTML element, except we let it know to use the heading style. The output is much larger. One thing to note, CSS has classes and IDs. A class is for elements that are reused on a page, like list items, whereas an ID is for an element that is used only once on a page, like a header. You will often use these as landmarks when scraping websites. Now going back to Frame.io's blog, if you right-click on the website and select Inspect, you can use the browser's inspector and see the HTML and CSS. So right here we have the opening and closing paragraph tags, and then we have the text within it, as well as opening and closing strong tags for the bold text. And as you hover, you can see which parts correspond to which. And then on the right side of the inspector, you have the CSS styles. So you can see the margin we have, the font size. You can even change these or turn them on or off. So if we turn off this, the font size will change. We can turn the line height. See, now it's very condensed. So that's it for the brief introduction about HTML and CSS. So that covers the basics of web scraping, HTML and CSS. In the next video, which will be published tomorrow, we'll dive into Python code by scraping our first blog article.